I would say rejection is redirection, guys. Don't give up. Yeah.
And I would say share your story. Don't be shy to share your story, especially your failures. Like, let people know that, this is where I came from and this is where I am now, because you don't know who you will aspire.
I think, looking at kind of what we do as an organisation, I would say the key takeaway should be to kind of consider mentorship as an option. Whether that's through us, so we've obviously got some amazing free opportunities available, or whether it's sort of through, in general, reaching out to people and trying to develop a network of people who might be able to mentor you in some fashion. I would consider that as an option. So outside of, obviously lots of your listeners will be doing the work at uni, building the skills that they need to get into creative industries and kind of follow their path. But, do consider mentorship as an option and, put yourself out there. Networking is really important. And I think kind of having a goal of finding a mentor, someone in your field who, has the experience and kind of has, done what you want to do is really, really helpful. So, we're always here to support with that. It's free opportunities from us, but, as you'll know as well, I'm sort of really open to sort of talking to people. If people have questions about mentorship or, want to find out about ways they can get involved, so I really encourage also people to reach out to us directly. I'm really happy to sort of, take calls with people and kind of, email back suggestions as well. So, please reach out. And I think the one takeaway should just be consider mentorship and, build a network outside of kind of your studies as well.
There are so many things I could identify. But for me, the one that has been enduring and has made the biggest difference in my life, I would suggest that as the takeaway message. Do not be afraid of taking responsibility for your affairs. Do not be afraid, embrace it and control it and move your life in the direction of your choosing. And I say that for this reason. My secondary school was a bit of a menagerie. The teachers didn't appear to care. The kids, certainly many of them, didn't care. But as someone who loved learning, I made sure I did all of the work that we were set, all of the homework, and even when we weren't being given the syllabus, I went and asked for it and worked in my own time to ensure that I covered the ground. That was how I passed my A-level physics. So taking responsibility for your affairs is such an important thing to do as early in your life as you can. And so when I went on to university, I saw lots of young people who, it was the first time they were away from home. Many of them went crazy, overdosed on alcohol, overdosed on drugs, overdosed on the freedom. I parted, but I never lost sight of why I was there. I was there to do the work because I couldn't face myself if I did not come out with my degree. As it turned out, I came out with 2 degrees because I got a PhD as well. So taking responsibility for your affairs is important. When I went into the world of work, certainly in the run-up to that, when I was applying for jobs, I did my research. I knew what area I wanted to go into. I prepared the ground. So although I went for 12 interviews and got 6 job offers, I was actually asking for the same thing. I want to get into business. I'm a scientist. I want you to tell me whether you're going to deliver on the promise in your blurb to train me to become a businessman. The ones who made me offers that I believed were the ones I shortlisted. And that's important. Taking responsibility for your affairs. Know what it is that you want to do and prepare yourself to go after it. In my time in Shell, it was wonderful. I saw the world and I didn't have to pay for it. However, I was also conscious that after 21 years, I'd outgrown Shell. I wanted something different. What did I want? I wanted my own business. So I left. I started my own business. and made a lot of money. And then I retired. So that, in a nutshell, is me saying to all the listeners, from I was a boy, I was taking responsibility for the things that mattered, despite the chaos, despite the distractions. And that's such a powerful thing to know about yourself and be willing to deliver. So taking responsibility for your affairs is the take-home message I would give to all the listeners, all the viewers.
My one piece of advice is run your own race, guys. Just because like you see someone else doing something does not mean it's a thing for you. It can be, it could be, but like it doesn't have to be. Do you know what I mean? And I think like when it comes to mental health, honestly, I think if you get your mental health right first, everything else will fall in place. I was doing it the opposite way. And I'm not back like where I started or anything, but it's more like in the sense of like now I've had to stop, reflect, and then move forward. Whereas maybe if I had just stopped and then, thought about what I want to do, and then I'd be more consistent in that way. And I think like things like consistency, things like working hard come from when you have both a care for yourself and for what you want to do. So as we said, passion is super important as well. So yeah, if you want more help from me, plug myself throughout. It's elise.da, same with TikTok, and offer mentoring, so reach out.
I would say not to be afraid to get into tech industry. There are lots of different roles in tech. There's obviously very technical roles. There's roles that aren't as technical but support technical roles. So there's something for everyone if you're interested. So don't be afraid of that industry, and just be open to learning new things.